Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial by Zebra Code. In this tutorial, we are going to download and install the Qt6 framework on Windows 10. Qt6 is a code editor and a framework that is widely used by software developers. It is widely used for building embedded systems, mobile and graphical user interface applications. Qt is written in C++ language. It is a cross-platform software. It is an open source software. However, it also has a paid version which you need a license for. The Qt framework has many industry standard tools. It is widely used in programming C, C++, and some other languages. To download it, let's go to their official website. To get to their official website, you can follow the link right on the screen where we can use the online installer. Or you can also type in Qt6 download on Google to get to their official website. I am going to follow the link right on the screen. If you follow the link that was on the last slide, you will come to this page. And it says install Qt. When you scroll down, you will come to the download button. But before we do that, let's look at it. Their website design changes from time to time. As at the time of recording this video, this is how this page looks. Maybe by the time you would be downloading it or installing it, the look of the page would have changed. Whether it changes or it still remains the same, you are likely going to find this download try option on the page. When you click on it, it will still take you back to this very page, but let's do it to see what exactly I am talking about, where we can find the online installer option. Click on it. When you click on it, it will take you to this page where it says Get Qt. Scroll down. And here you will find download Qt now. Scroll down a little bit further until you get to where it says go open source. Click on go open source and it will now take you to this page. Scroll down on this page. It will take you to where it says here download the Qt online installer. Click on it. And here we are again. We are back to that same page that we got to directly by following that link. So now we are on this page. When you scroll down a little bit, here it says your download and your operating system will be dictated automatically. In my case, it has detected Windows as my operating system. And the recommended option for me is the Qt online installer for Windows. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit further. And now we find where it says download. Click on it to download the application. A new page will open. And on the page it says thank you for downloading Qt. The file is not very big. It is very fast to download. That depends on your internet connection speed. My internet connection speed is fast. It's not the fastest in the world. Yours might be faster or slower. Either way, it's not going to take long. Now it has finished downloading. To find it from where it has been downloaded to, I'm going to click on show in folder and it will take me to where it is on my system. On my computer, it was downloaded to the downloads folder. Yours might also be downloaded to the downloads folder, but wherever it is on your system, I'm sure you can find it. Now, to launch it, it is an exe file, that is, it's an executable file. So let's click on it. All right. When you double click on it, it will open the setup page. on this page, it will ask you of your login details. Before you can install it, you need to have a Qt account. You need to have an account with them. It is free to sign up for an account with Qt. If you have signed up already and you are logged in, it will detect your login details. If you haven't signed up yet, then you can quickly sign up here. And once you are signed up and you are logged in, you can now click on Next. The installation process takes some time. Be patient. On this page, you can read their obligations message. Once you are done reading it, you can click I have read and approved the obligations of using open source Qt. Leave everything else as it is. By default, this select box will be selected. Then click on Next. On this page, also click on Next. It is preparing the download and the installation process. Be patient. Okay, on this page, you click the second option. That's the one at the bottom, because this one is all about the Qt Creator. Now click Next. This is where you select where you would want Qt to be installed on your computer system. If you are happy with it here, which is in the C drive, just leave it as it is. If you want to change it, if you have a reason to change it, this is where you can also select it. I already have a Qt file installed on my system, so I am going to change the directory. Once again, you don't have to change the directory unless you just want to change it the way I'm changing it. If you don't want to change it, leave it as it is. It will be fine. I am going to change the directory and install it somewhere else. I have selected where I would want it to be installed on my computer. Now leave everything as it is here. Choose custom installation. Now click Next. This part is very important. Remember, this tutorial is about installing Qt6 on Windows 10 platform. Now we have the option to choose Qt6. By default, it's likely going to be the topmost from the list. That is, it's going to be at the top. As at the time of installing this software, Qt 6.0.1 is the latest. So click on it, and here you can also click on this one, and it's still going to be Qt 6. So click on whichever one you're happy with there, or you can leave everything as it is by default. If you want to select all these ones, fine, there's no problem. This is just a preview of it all. So leave everything here as they are. Once again, let's go through it. Everything here is about the different versions. As at the time of recording this video, Qt 6 is the latest. So you can select it, and you can also view more information about it. Here we have different components that come with it. So leave everything as they are here. Don't click anything unless you have a specific reason to do so. Just leave them as they are. Developer and design tool, we will be using a Qt Creator. is also selected by default. Leave it as it is there. Leave everything as they are there, unless you just want to select something specific. If not, the default will be fine. So now I'm going to click next. On this page, you can read the licensing agreement, and once you are happy with it, you can click I have read and agreed to the terms contained in the license agreement. If you are happy with their terms and conditions, and click next. Here you may want to give it a name or just leave it as a Qt. I might just call mine Qt V6 as Qt version 6. So here click next. Now setup is ready to begin the installation process. Here it will also tell you how much space it will take from your drive. In my case, installation will use 20.7 gigabytes of disk space, which is a lot. The reason for that is because of the options I selected. If you left it at the default, yours would be lower than this, and I am going to click install. This will take you some time. Be patient, and you can be doing something else while this installation process continues. I will be back when the installation is done. All right, now it has completed the installation process, and you can see the launch Qt Creator here. Now it has finished installing. We can now click finish. All right, it has now launched the Qt Creator. Our installation was successful. All right, once you have successfully installed it and it is launched, this screen will look like this. If you have launched it and it is not looking like this, or you cannot see it, you can also go to the start menu and find it from wherever you have installed it from the programs. If you are to launch it manually, you can click on the Qt Creator and you will get this same page. So this is the Qt Creator version of it, and because we installed version 6, you can see it is Qt 6 here that we have. So feel free, take a tour of it, look at some examples of what has been done, some applications that have been created. There are many. You can also look at the left hand side here, new to Qt, get started, get Qt, Qt account, online community, blogs, user guide, and so on. So there are so many examples here you can look at for different applications. Then look at the tutorial sessions. The tutorials here are very many, and they can also guide you on how to do different things or how to start with the Qt application. Then the marketplace, there are so many applications here you can also have a look at. Some of them I believe are paid applications, so they are also featured in here. Then for projects, when you want to create a project, there are so many ways to go about it. You can click on project here, or go the traditional way of clicking on file, new, and so on. So I'm going to use this approach to create our first demo project. Click on file, new, and here you will come to this screen. On this screen you will see different applications. By default you are likely to see Qt application, Qt widget application, or Qt console application, or application Qt quick, and Qt for Python. In the library other project, and so on. Non-Qt project, import project, and here you have the opportunity to create C or C++ files. Remember, Qt is traditionally meant for C and C++ languages, but you can use it for other languages. Here, modeling, Qt, and so on. Remember as well, Java is still part of the programming languages. You can use it for Python is there as well. But in our case, we are going to use it for a non-Qt project, just to try it for the usual Hello World application. When you click on the non-Qt project, it will show you this page. Plain C application, plain C++ application. So let's click on the second option, plain C++ application. Now click on choose. Here it will ask you for a project name. I will just call it Qt6 demo. Qt6 demo. Then decide where you are going to save it on your application. It could be on your C drive or wherever, or it could also be on your desktop. You can create a folder there. As that, in my case, I already have a folder. All my C++ and Qt related works go in there. So now I'm going to click next. Here you will have the option to use CMake or QMake or QBS. Leave it as it is. By default, it's going to be CMake. Qt6 uses a CMake. Now click on next. And here too, you have the option to choose what you are going to use it for. In my case, I'm going to click the desktop Qt6 64-bit because I am on Windows 10. I'll tick this one. So let it be desktop Qt6 64-bit. Now click on next. Here you can choose how you want to manage the project, whether it's going to be a Git project or you are going to connect to GitHub or something like that, or Bitbucket. So again, now if you are happy with that, click on finish. So this is the standard Hello World template. So it's still scanning. All right, now it's built. It was building it before, now it's completely built. So to run this C++ code we have here to see our Hello World, here you click on run. It's still building. All right, now you can see it says Hello World. So that is it, which means our application is working well. So in this tutorial, we have successfully downloaded and installed Qt6 framework on Windows 10, and we have tested the Hello World application with Qt6. So there is a lot you can do with it. Find time to explore it and start working with Qt6. Best of luck.